Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy, Kill Bill the Rapper, aka Kaiju Billy, and I'm here to answer some questions from you guys about my upcoming album, I Think I Found the End, which comes out June 5th, so later this week. I'm really excited about it, and it seems like a lot of you guys are excited about it, so let's just get right into the shit. What does the title mean in the context of you and the album? At what point in the process did you decide on the title? So, the end, to me, feels like kind of like getting to the root of an issue, but it means a lot of things throughout the context of the album. Like how the title came to me was I do a lot of stream of consciousness writing. Like I'll start kind of not knowing what I want to write about. Sometimes I might just get a little stoned and just start writing, or just even sober. I'll just kind of write. And during that process, sometimes certain things will like make itself apparent, things that are like kind of in your head or whatever. One of the things that I kept saying over and over, a recurring line, was I think I found the end. It just kept showing up over and over, and sometimes that meant like the end of a relationship, or like the end of like parts of your life, or change, or sometimes it was like something much darker than that, you know what I mean? But it kept showing up over and over and over again. So I feel like my brain, my soul, whatever, is trying to tell me that this is what it's called. Like it just came to be. You stated a lot that this is your best / favorite album. Where did your inspiration come from? Were there any major life events that played a role in this, similar to your dad's passing before Full Metal Kaiju? Yeah, it's all about this time period from I was like age 12 to 15, sometime around then is kind of like when I first started rapping. I was living with my grandma, and our relationship was really complicated, and like there's a lot going into it, and a lot of it will kind of, I don't want to spoil anything really, but like a lot of it I talk about like in detail. A big part of it too is like there's a lot of songs on there that don't have anything to do with that, but it's like I'm kind of putting myself in the mind state of like what I was into at that time. I just dug so hard into media and music, and I made something that I think like 13-year-old me would be like really proud of, to be like, that's what I'm doing. I was trying to do something that would like impress young me and also myself. How optimistic would you say this album is? I feel like it's kind of optimistic in a way. I think that it kind of ends in tragedy to an extent, but I also think that the whole album to me feels like I'm finding my tiny little autistic child self and just giving it a hug and be like, bro, you're valid. You're not that weird. What's your favorite track and why? I haven't released a track list yet, but there is one song called The Building with the Blue Butterfly. That song to me means the entire world. I think there's other songs that are like similarly like, oh, I could see why someone would latch onto it, but this one's so personal, almost grossly personal, that it, you know what I mean? It's like it means a lot to me. And I think it's a beautiful song, and I'm really proud to have made it, like that it just kind of came out. But I can't really go into the specifics because I don't want to spoil it, but that's kind of why. It's something very, very personal to me. What's the cover art gonna be like? Please don't pull a Donda. Don't worry, there is definitely something on the cover. I don't want to spoil it, but I will say my life at the time, like this time period that I'm kind of talking about, I had a TV just like this, and it had a VCR on it, and I was obsessed with like recording things onto the VCR, whether it was beats that I made on the Xbox, or like I would make my own little Let's Plays and stuff like that. And it's heavily inspired by that. The TV screen was kind of like a central hub for like everything that I found creative. But I will say, I will spoil, there is a character that comes with it, you know, like we've had like Ramona, and then we had like the scary girl from Resin, and then we had Tina from Full Metal Kaiju, and Luna from Snow Globe Theory. There is a girly on the cover. So what symbolism do you think will be easiest to miss in the album? All of it, brother. That happens all the time. I mean, it's just like a part of putting music out. It's like, just assume that when you mean something that people aren't gonna get it right, and that's okay. Like you can kind of assign your own symbolism. It's so personal that I don't think a lot of you guys will really understand without me doing stuff like this and talking to them about it. And like, that's fine. I'm fully okay with it just being for me. And if you get it, that's fine. And if you don't get it and you assign some other meaning to it, that's also fine too. Art is art. It's not my job to tell you what it means. Are there any songs in the album you see yourself really wanting to perform on tour? Like all of it. There's like a bunch of songs where it's more like me rapidy rapping and I want to do stuff like that and like kind of like take the thing and it be more like you're just paying attention to what I'm doing. And then there's other songs where I want to fucking jump around and scream that shit. You know what I mean? And you know, those are like my favorite ones to do on tour. I could see myself doing literally every song from this album on tour, and I probably will. Tour.kill-bill.net. Get your tickets, baby. What are you doing? What else you got going on, huh? From Teller Banks. How many times did he tell you? I don't know what that means, but I'll tell you one thing. I really appreciated your verse on Appleseed. And if you're not following Teller Banks, you're not listening to Hate Island, I don't know what to tell you. You guys are stupid if you're not. Dumb. Full of poop thoughts. How many hours have you spent on it total, from creating beats to mastering? So full disclosure, I actually have done the least amount of producing I think I've ever done on an album. For this record, I wanted to just rap a lot. There's like, I think I did 2 songs, I think. So I don't know, I think Ramona was probably similar, about the same amount. I will say this, that this album was like 30% making the music and 70% like almost like R&D, like fucking researching. A big, huge chunk of this album for me was just figuring out what I wanted to do with it. There would be some nights where I would be like working on music and I would just stay up till 5 a.m. and I would just watch a lot of the same shows that I was watching when I was 12. I would look for things, what would inspire me at that time. You know, because I kind of took a year off last year. I only put out a few songs last year. And so I had enough time to like really sit with it. So I couldn't give you a number, but I will say I'm glad that I did that because I think this is the most inspired thing I've probably ever made. What kind of music have you been listening to while you made these songs? A lot, and a lot of it hasn't been like directly hip hop music. I don't think I took inspiration from a lot of rappers and stuff. I feel like I kind of rap the way I rap, and there it is, you know. And whether that takes inspiration from stuff, sure, it does. But I listen to a lot of like Adult Swim, type, what people will call lo-fi beats now, but back then they were just beats. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. I listen to a lot of like rock music. Yeah, I listened to Murmur by Murmur, which is an incredible album. You should check it out. But that was a big inspiration. A lot of like One O Tricks Point Never, a lot of like liminal stuff. So that's something. But yeah, not a lot of hip hop. I feel like I listen to hip hop just to enjoy hip hop at this point, and I don't really listen to it like for inspiration. It's just kind of like where it comes from, you know? You've talked about your inspirations for this album, but what about anti-inspirations? Like either stuff you've done before or never before and wanted to avoid this time around? I will say this. I don't know if I necessarily had like anti-inspirations, but I did want to kind of, instead of moving away from the sound that I'm known for, I wanted to go back to it and like really revisit like a lot of the sounds that I was using on like Ramona, Resin, Drop Season, a lot of the stuff where people first heard me, and try to do an evolved version of that. I think that there was a time period for me where I was actively avoiding doing that because I didn't want to be pigeonholed, and I didn't want to make something that was like done before, if that makes any sense. I thought about this time, like how about like really like laying into it and trying to do it better in a more elevated sense that's not just kind of like, hey guys, I'm depressed over jazz rap, you know what I mean? I really wanted to go deeper, but I don't know about like anti-inspirations. I guess like one of the things is like I really didn't want to do something that was just a vibe. Like I didn't want to just do, because a lot of the older songs for me were just like, hey, I'm sad and this is to make you feel better if you're also sad. And this is not that at all. This is, if you're looking for that, it's not there. It's very, I went some places. Sorry for rambling, and I don't know if I really like answered the question, but I tried. Will this in any way be as dark or similar to Bedwetter? Now, if you don't know Bedwetter, it is a side project from Lil Ugly Mane. And it's really good. You should go check it out if you haven't. I won't say that these are the same vibes. I will say that there's some parts of it that do feel like similarly dark or maybe even darker. I don't know how to gauge that, but there's certain songs where it's not dark at all. There's some songs where it's kind of like, what was I listening to when I was 12? Oh, I listened to a lot of Paul Wall and Slim Thug. I'm like, cool, I'll make a song that sounds like that, you know? But then there's some songs where it's like, oh, holy shit, it really goes some places that makes me uncomfortable. I played it for my mom and it made her cry. Okay, so I feel like if that's any indication, but I don't think it's quite the same as Bedwetter. Bedwetter has like a very like depressed thing going on, whereas mine is like kind of like a happy cry. There are dark moments, but I think that it's more cathartic than like desolate feeling or whatever. How many wrestling references will there be in the album? A few. I mean, I feel like it's hard to get too many in when you're talking about some of the stuff I'm talking about, stuff that's like deeply personal. But I mean, like, we already got the Kota Ibushi bar in there on Joe Pera. Y'all already know that one. I see parallels in wrestling in real life all the time, so there you go. Do the amount of jokes in the community bother you? I've seen you mention how personal this one in particular is to you, and even though you're a funny lad that goes along with it and makes them funnier, I can't help but feel a bit bad when I see a big chunk of joke replies. No, it doesn't bother me, not at all. Like, I feel like there was a time period where it did, but like, dude, having people's attention in the first place is so hard nowadays. It's very difficult to keep people engaged with whatever you're doing because of the way the internet is set up and how everyone's just kind of wired to just like scroll and see the next thing. I'm incredibly grateful that anyone at all even thinks about talking about me, even if it is just being like, oh yeah, dude, Birdseed Dent, Gengar's kissing DJ Hentai Daddy, when's he coming back? Like any of that stuff, like Sobi, any of that stuff, bro. Like, I love you, okay? Like, I'm here for it. Like, thank you for even thinking about me. So that's how I feel about that. Will Kill Bill the Rapper and It's Brokey be on the Kill Bill the Rapper album together? Absolutely, yes. I mean, Joe Pera is going to be on there. I love Brokey, okay? I've been a fan of Brokey for a few years now, and it's awesome to see all the success she's been getting. She deserves every little bit of it, both with the Brokey stuff and the Steppy stuff. I think that she deserves to be incredibly famous, and I am very happy to have worked with her on a song, and I hope to do more. Who is to say that we haven't done more? Who is to say? I don't know, dude. I don't fucking know. Love her. She's awesome. You and many others have shared the sentiment that this is your best work, and you have an air of confidence about that. What aspect of the album are you most proud of, and why? I personally think this is the best thing I've ever done. And it doesn't matter if other people don't. I know there's always going to be people who are like, oh yeah, Ramona is my favorite, and like it was a time and a place and all that stuff. I'm rapping on this album, okay? I feel confident that if I were to show this album, especially certain songs, to people who are like incredibly good at rapping, they'd be like, he's really good at rapping. I think that my pen on this album I don't know how it happened, okay? I think I really pushed myself. I really made it a point to push myself super hard. And you know what's crazy? That's not what I'm really proud of about the album. What I'm really proud of about the album is I made something that I do not give a fuck if people don't like it. I do not care because I know it's dope. For me, it's dope. I hear it, I read it, my friends get it. I think that this is something that I'm like, here it is. This is the first album I've ever made, ever, that I'm like, this is as good as I can do. And if you don't like that, that's fine. I'm not for you. But I wouldn't change anything about it. I'm for the first time ever so happy with how everything turned out, from the production to the rapping, to the subject matter, to it being so deeply personal, for it being like almost a concept album, but it's not. But to me, it is. Like, it's like everything I ever wanted in an album. And I think the features are really good too. I'm not going to spoil those yet, but I mean, the ones you guys have already heard with Ashton Larold, Isbroki, and Teller Banks, which, by the way, like, those three people, like, you don't think you'd ever hear them on an album, and together, you know, it seems like they're so different, but in the context, they all sound fucking awesome together. So basically, all I'm saying is thank you guys for listening. I think I found the end. June 5th, EXO Forever, Kaiju motherfucking Billy, come see me on tour. I'll give you a little dap like this. I'll do the secret dap. I'll go like that. If you see me, say the secret dap and I'll do this like that. Thank you so much. Bye.